Well, the stimulus checks are kind of coming through, and we're going to discuss what some reactions are on Twitter and a few other things. So stick with me, I'll be with you in a minute. Hey everybody, this is Deb with Truthification Chronicles, and this is going to be one of those uncut, unedited videos. So I hope I don't make too many mistakes. It's kind of getting late, and I just wanted to get something done because I want to get back on track of getting my videos out at 7 in the morning because they seem to do better then, and more people get a chance to see them. So anyway, we're going to start out with this article right here because, the Kentucky whole state has been having some problems lately, and they had the whole issue about trying to fine people for sitting in their cars at church services on Easter. And so now the Kentucky lawmakers override the veto of voter ID measure. Yeah, they had this legislation that went through, and their governor vetoed it. And they said, he was saying he didn't want anybody to have to provide any kind of voter ID to vote. The Republicans in the legislature, well, they decided that they were going to override that, which they did. So there you go. I thought that was, yay, you go, guys. We need this voter ID. We seriously do. If we don't have it implemented for the 2020 election, there's going to be all kinds of cheating going on, and especially with this whole mail-in thing. Yeah, not good. And then I wanted to show you this. Okay, not sure why that came up like that. But anyway, Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx, guess what? Were the two experts who persuaded Trump to kill the economy with their garbage predictions of 2.2 million deaths. So, yeah, he said it in the briefing on the 14th, I believe it was, when he said that. If you caught it, sometimes in these briefings, there are these little hidden gems, and you've got to listen quick because they're just like little snippets that expose what's really going on. So in Wednesday's briefing, there was this whole thing about the reporter asked Trump if there was anything to this idea that the virus originated in this virus lab in Wuhan. Trump didn't say no. I thought that was interesting. And he also implied that it was possible that the people behind it knew what they were doing. And especially the WHO, I thought it was really good that he kind of pointed the finger at them and said, did they know what they were doing? It'd be really bad if they did. So I thought that was kind of fun. Yeah, you got to listen carefully. But this one right here, yeah, Fauci went ahead and he said that they were the two that went in, and he admitted that back in March, two very smart people came into his office and urged him to lock down the economy. That was President Trump. Well, then what happens? Fauci comes up and says, of course, who were they? Well, he admitted that it was him and Birx. So there you go. You have their own admission. They just can't keep from outing themselves. So there we have it. And then I wanted to point this out to you because I thought this was really strange. I'm not from Canada, but if I have any Canadians that are listening to this, what is the deal with this 2000 coin? Look, you see the swirls? We all know what that stands for. What's going on here, guys? Yeah, they don't even hide it anymore, do they? The symbols. Okay, and then James Woods, he has this up, and like the Clinton Foundation did in Haiti, he's talking to Hillary Clinton here, who is the WHO is on the front lines of this pandemic, providing advice, training, and equipment crucial to saving lives, including Americans. Yeah, well, they didn't do a very good job of that, did they? Because they let China do what China wanted, and a lot of people in the United States and across the world are dying because of it. Remember, China stopped people from going places inside China, but they didn't stop people from taking flights out of China. What's with that? So anyway, this is really interesting what Hillary said down here, though. Cutting their funding is not only dangerous, Trump doesn't have the authority to do it. He should know violating spending laws got him impeached. Is that why he was impeached? Because he violated spending laws? I thought the articles of impeachment said something totally different. Wow. Well, anyway, so James Woods, he responds to her and says, like the Clinton Foundation did in Haiti. Oh, and you'll never be impeached, having lost both presidential elections, of course. Maybe a Chardonnay will calm you down. It's cocktail hour somewhere. So I like the way he comes back at her, and just all the different people that he just stands up to. It's very interesting. But yes, this Douglas Barton down here says he was surprised that he didn't pick up on the violating the spending laws there. So but anyway, I thought you'd like to see that. Now I'm going to leave the links to those down below in the description. But we're going to get to a bunch of tweets in just a minute. I'm not leaving all those links down below. It just takes too long to put them all down there. But this one I'll leave a link to because it does discuss Will Smith. And this guy, Orlando Brown, claims that he was a victim. And he says it in colorful language. Okay, be very aware. There's a lot of swearing in this, and the N-word is used quite a bit. So if you have tender ears, you're not going to want to listen to this. But essentially, he was very upset, and he claims that that is the situation, that's what happened to him and many others in his words. Okay, so just wanted to let you see that. Okay, now from here on out, we're going to be talking about the stimulus deposit or check or whatever the case is. And I wanted to show you several of these because, the title of this is Attitude of Greed or Gratitude. Now, when I was growing up in church, we always had this attitude of gratitude kind of thing because it rhymed and it fit because we wanted to make sure that as we were growing up, and my parents were very good at modeling this for us, that they had a very gracious attitude, that when they earned money, it was not something that they glorified and they used it to further God's work. And so they were very charitable, and they always were very grateful for what they earned and what we had. And so we grew up that way, being grateful. And, like when I have this channel, I am so grateful that people want to listen to me. I'm sometimes totally amazed that anybody wants to listen to me more than once, and even once. So, it's stunned me how this channel has taken off and how it's gone. I see it as such a privilege to be able to share anything that I find with other people, and I get so excited because I find things and it's like, oh, I gotta share this with the people in my YouTube channel. So I have this attitude, I hope it's an attitude that is very grateful for the people that support me and that are out there and cheering for me and encouraging me. I just want to thank you all so much. And I, looked at this when I got the money, it's like, well, it was really nice to find that, in my checking account today. It was great. And, what are you going to do with it? Well, I have bills that I'm going to use it for. So it will be used wisely. But I also plan on giving some of it to other people just because I know that there are some family members that might be struggling right now and some other people I know, and I just want to make sure that everybody's taken care of, okay? And if I have extra, that's where I want it to go. So anyway, as I was thinking of that, this has been trending, the stimulus deposit or stimulus check. And I wanted to see what people were thinking. And, when you go to Twitter, you can put in hashtag and whatever it is, and then see how it's going. Or sometimes it'll say over here what they are, what the trends are, and you can just click on those. But I wanted to see what people were saying about the stimulus deposit. Well, there are a lot of people that fall into the greed category, I'm afraid, because, a lot of people were disappointed that they haven't had theirs yet. And so, like this guy, me looking at everyone else getting their $1,200 and I ain't received mine yet. So, yeah, I can understand that. And then this guy, yeah, I'm not reading all of these because some of them are not nice. But, and a lot of people have been checking theirs for the 40th time. I understand, and it's still not there for a lot of people. And like this one is trending, but your bank account balance is still $9. So it's just, some people are not real happy about it. And this right here, everybody got paid but me. Well, it's really, this is that guy, it really is a gift that you've been given. I mean, I understand that it's our money, technically, because we paid taxes and that's where the money came from. But it also is really something that has been given to us, and we need to look at it more, in my opinion, we need to look at it more as a gift instead of something we deserve, because it changes how we view things. And instead of being greedy, oh, I just want more money, I want more money, it takes us into an attitude where we're just grateful for what we have. And we're going to talk about that more in just a minute. But anyway, I just wanted to show some of these to you because there's a lot of grousing going on. A lot of grousing. This one says they're not getting any. And I don't know. This right here is a message that may come up on the website. And if you don't have the website, it's just go to irs.gov. And that will have it on there so you can put your information in case you need to. Why this person didn't get it? Well, it could be that they're not eligible. There might be something there, and there is something else that might come up or some other reason. So I don't know why, and there are ways to figure it out with this. So all I can say is you need to go to irs.gov and use the tracker to see if it's not working. Some people complain that it got put into different accounts instead of their main account. But it should be the account that whatever in 2018 or 2019 was the one that you used. Now, if you just recently filled out your taxes and sent them in, you may not get for 2019. They may have gone back to your 2018 returns. So I don't know what the situation is. I don't know why this person wouldn't have gotten any. But, again, you just look at it and it's just, to me, I read these and I'm kind of, my heart's breaking because you're getting something. Everybody, well, not everybody's getting something, but a lot of people are. You just may not have it yet. And it's okay that you don't have it yet. There's that one. I picked out some of those and just wanted to put them up individually. But then there are these kind of people that are using it for promotional activities like, yeah, to everyone who's relieved to receive their stimulus deposit, just remember, you could have had this every month if you voted for Andrew Yang. There you go, folks. You could have it. Well, this person goes through and actually lays out the money, and it's like, no, that wouldn't work. Because this is a one-time gift, a one-time thing where we're getting this money. This isn't going to happen every month. Because if you start doing it every month, it really adds up. And there's no way financially that it works. It's not feasible. And here it is because, see, even if you do that, then it only leaves $1.53 trillion for Social Security and unemployment, interest, military VA, HHS, and education and HUD. Look, there's just not enough money to cover it all. There simply isn't. So the numbers don't work out. And of course, there would be a big unemployment rate. I think it'd be more than 15%. Honestly, I think it'd be quite a bit. And, it's just, they don't need to do that because, I don't know. In this one's, Yang was the only candidate that was polling ex-Trump voters. Are there ex-Trump voters? Well, I'm sure there's a few. but surely not very many. He literally had people from all political spectrum in his Yang Gang. Oh, that's a scary term. And so, yeah, and this is what they're trying to do. They're using it to try to promote this kind of stuff. And then, of course, we need people that are going to be spouting out about Barack Obama. Not sure why this guy's thanking Barack Obama for it. You know, I don't know. And a lot of them, some of them are saying pending deposit. Mine's not mine's not pending. Okay. The money is there and I used some of it today. So it is there. It is ready to go. Everything is fine. So if yours is pending, that's your bank's issue. Okay. That is not, and I don't know, Navy Federal Credit Union, I guess, was the one this guy and somebody else I saw had the same thing. But anyway, so yeah, there's that attitude. And then this one that they just haven't gotten it yet. And it's like, okay, they said sometime this week. This was Wednesday. Why not on Thursday or Friday? You still have a couple more days. And they didn't guarantee everybody was going to get it this week, but a lot of people have. I'm seeing a lot of people on Twitter who have it. And so then we have the people that have this agenda. Just a quick reminder to the anti-socialism folks. Once your coronavirus stimulus deposit is received, you can donate the entirety of the funds to charity or return it in full to the U.S. Treasury Department. But if you keep it, you're never allowed to attack socialism again. They don't understand. This is not the same as socialism. This is a one-time thing. Socialism is where it's all the time. And it keeps happening over and over, which you saw the numbers don't add up. So it's not possible to keep doing that. And so this right here, yeah. And I understand that countries that do socialism, they try to make it sound like it works, but it never does. Ask the people in Venezuela right now. And I'm amazed at how many people can sit there and look at Venezuela and what's going on and then complain. I'm also surprised at how many people can go to their grocery stores and they can see the empty shelves and still say socialism is a good thing. Really? Do you think it is? Get used to those empty shelves. My grocery store, I couldn't believe this. I had to go to the grocery today, and my grocery store has one-way aisles now. So you can only go certain ways on the aisles. They have like arrows and signs and everything. I got so confused by the time I got to the last two aisles because there were no arrows. So I didn't know which way I was supposed to go. I mean, I went kind of late. I usually go late at night, right before they close, because it's just easier for me. There's not a lot of people. I can park in the handicap spaces, so I don't have to walk very far. And then, so I went to go in the store, and I couldn't go in the door that was closest to the handicap. I had to walk all the way around to the other side because that side was only an exit. And so to enter, you had to go in the other door. And it's like, I just don't get how this is really social distancing. It's not like we have this humongously busy store where people are passing each other constantly and you can't just step aside for a second and let somebody walk through the door, or it kind of just flummoxed me. And I'm standing there because some guy just came out as I went up to the door and he goes, "Oh, you got to go to the other side." And I'm like, what? What is this? And then when I got inside, it was all the little arrows and, oh my goodness. Yeah. So is this really what we want? When people start giving you this garbage about socialism, you start pointing them to the empty shelves and say, is that what you want? Because that's what you're going to get. And here's another one. To support all the Trump supporters who don't support socialism, please feel free to deposit your socialist check. This is not a socialist check. This is one time. They just don't get that. But then again, if they understood such things, they wouldn't be a socialist, right? So, yeah, here they are. They're using it to promote their socialism. You're going to hear it more and more. And then this person, oh, look, a person with reason. People are wondering where they should spend their stimulus deposit and complaining because places aren't open. Hey, idiots, it's for your bills. If you don't need it, save it for later or donate it to a friend or charity in need. This isn't fun money. But you know what? Yeah, I know people like that who will get, if they may not have money to pay their bills, but man, you give them a $20 bill and they're just going to go spend it. Instead of actually putting it toward a bill that they need to pay, oh no, they're not going to do that. They would rather do all this other stuff. So anyway, yeah. And then there's some that are a little snarky about it, which this one is. When you see the Papa Trump, you know for sure they're being snarky, but I thought it was kind of funny, actually. If you cash the check, I'm not only your president, but I'm also your sugar daddy. So, I don't know. I think it's going to be funny when the ones get the checks that, you know, the liberals get the checks that have his name on it. And then they're complaining that, oh, people are not getting their money. It's taking longer because we had to wait for Trump's name to get put on there. It's like, no, they didn't. That's just a big fat lie. But this person right here, look at this, a genuine thank you. I thought that is something that's so nice because there weren't very many of these. There were very, very few. And so I grabbed this one, and I grabbed this one, which I think is probably the best idea out there. I'm not rich, but we have more than many Americans today. My husband and I have agreed to donate our stimulus deposit to the food bank. We challenge anyone else who doesn't need the money to do the same. And that's an idea that I want to leave with you. If you end up having more than you need, maybe send it to people who need it. Okay, try to make sure it gets put towards something that's going to really help those in need right now. So I know that where Mayor Pete is from, South Bend, they've actually started something for restaurant owners and not the owners, but the workers. And it's like a tip jar type thing. And you can order from the restaurants and leave a big tip, or you can just leave tips or whatever. So something along those lines, I don't know, but be generous, because when you're generous, it really shows your gratitude. And that's what I wanted to share with. Okay, now, for those of you who are not religious, just bear with me. You know I'm a Christian, and I look at everything in the Bible and I see how it's, describing so much going on in our world right now. This passage in Romans 1 amazes me, because when I'm reading it now, and I've read it many times, but you look at it now, my eyes are just seeing it so differently, because I'm seeing here the wrath of God is being revealed from heaven against all the godlessness and wickedness of people who suppress the truth by their wickedness. Do we know anyone who suppresses truth by their wickedness? Boy, we know an awful lot, don't we? And this is about to be exposed, all this wickedness, and how they have been suppressing the truth. Even the truth about this hydroxychloroquine. Look at how that has been suppressed. It's truth. But they're trying to say, no, you don't want to try that. And yet it's helped so many people. So why would they be talking it down when there are so many doctors that support it? That's the thing. Talk to doctors. A lot of them are saying, yes, try it. Anyway, so they had that. And then since what may be known about God is plain to them, because God has made it plain to them. And, talks about, for since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made, so that people are without excuse. For although they knew God, they neither glorified him as God, nor gave thanks to him. Gave thanks, Giving thanks is really an important part of worshiping him. But their thinking became futile, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Although they claimed to be wise, they became fools and exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images made to look like a mortal human being, and birds and animals and reptiles. I mean, they claimed to be wise. They became fools. I think we know several who would fit in that category lately. And they exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images made to look like a mortal human being, and birds and animals and reptiles. And if you go on down here, then it talks about the sexual issues here. And if you go on down, and it says, furthermore, just as they did not think it worthwhile to retain the knowledge of God, so God gave them over to a depraved mind, so that they do what ought not to be done. They have become filled with every kind of wickedness, evil, greed, and depravity. They are full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, and malice. They are gossips, slanderers, God-haters, insolent, arrogant, and boastful. They invent ways of doing evil. They disobey their parents. They have no understanding, no fidelity, no love, no mercy. Although they know God's righteous decree that those who do such things deserve death, they not only continue to do these very things, but also approve of those who practice them. I just thought, this is the situation we're in right now. When we're talking about the socialism is really a type of greed. You're not satisfied with what you're earning at your job. You're not satisfied with what you can produce with your own hands. You want what everyone else has. You want other people to give you things. It is definitely greed. That's all socialism really is. Greed. And, I know that they paint it as being helping out the poor, and that's not what it is. It's not going to help the poor. It makes everyone equally poor, but it puts it out there under the guise of being such a great thing because it's, supposed to be helping people, when in reality they're not happy with their own place in life. They're not happy with what they're earning. And greed is a really sad thing. So got to be careful because, here in Luke 12:15, Jesus told us, watch out, be on your guard against all kinds of greed. Life does not consist in an abundance of possessions, because that's not where real life is about. You can have a lot of things and still not be living true life. So I wanted to give you that. And then the last thing I want to share with you is a passage from one of my favorite books, Philippians 4. And it says here, if you read the whole passage, Paul was very happy. He was commending the Philippians for sending him financial help and gifts. And he said, I rejoice greatly in the Lord that at last you renewed your concern for me. Indeed, you were concerned, but you had no opportunity to show it. I am not saying this because I am in need, for I've learned to be content whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. The secret. And what is the secret? Well, he tells us that in Philippians 4:13. I can do all this through him who gives me strength. So, see, that's the secret. The secret is really knowing who God is and knowing how powerful God is, and that everything we have is rooted in him. So that's really where we get that secret of being content in any and every situation. It may not be the best of times, but it's something that God is working through, and he's going to work through us and make us into the best people that he can through our difficult circumstances. So I wanted to leave that with you. I know probably some of you are thinking I'm a little preachy on this. I don't want to be, but I just think that, when we can see God's hand in this, it makes it more understandable. And throughout this whole thing, this is really what we're looking at. We're seeing this work that's being done. And if you believe in the 17th letter of the alphabet and what he's been telling us, then you understand that this is definitely a God thing, that God is at work through this, and that these people who have been so evil and have done such atrocities to people over the years, over the centuries, are finally going to be exposed. And that's what we need to keep our eyes on. And it helps us to understand the perspective that we can be content now. We're not happy with this being set in this situation where our rights are being trampled on, but we can be content that God is at work. And we know that, we can be confident of that. So that's what I've got for you on this one. I just want to thank you for all of your support, for sticking with me in this video. And I want to tell you that I do appreciate each and every one of you, and I love reading your comments and responding to them. I don't get to them as much as I want to because of my health issues, but I try. I do my very best. So I want to thank you for stopping by, and I'll see y'all later.